How's that even possible that, white people would make other white people feel bad for being white? That just doesn't make any sense. Black people's not making white people feel bad about themselves. We don't even have the power to do so. Conservative Netflix. This is what we'll be watching today in this video. Conservative Netflix. I guess it's a Daily Wire. Um, I don't like conservative people, so I certainly don't think I would like their Netflix. Let's see what's going on with conservative Netflix. The soy boy pill. Conservative Netflix is a scam. Let's get it.
Hey all, the last video got age restricted and demonetized because of a dumb joke I put in, so I had to remove and re-upload. If you've seen this already, please consider rewatching and making your significant other suffer through it. And if you want me not to make videos out of my cardboard box, consider supporting me on Patreon. Thanks! Hey, it's me, the soy pill. After realizing I couldn't make a video on Iran, since even our own government doesn't know what we're doing there,
and we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. In the first hour, it was over.
We don't want to leave early, do we, huh? We got to finish the job, right?
We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough.
You keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over.
I decided to rely
This is a very redundant endeavor, I'd say.
and watch my favorite new show, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But whoa, there were only 6 episodes. But hey, the Daily Wire just made a new fantasy series, and they dumped an insane amount of money into it. Maybe I'll check that out.
Really?
And as I was beginning to pirate the show off an illegal Malaysian streaming service,
A conservative fantasy show. What do y'all think that is like?
I thought to myself, this isn't right, like, to be a Daily Wire Plus subscriber. So I bought a month of Daily Wire Plus, and I'm glad I did, because the website is so much more interesting than any review I could make of their shitty Merlin show. Come with me as I take you through the Daily Wire Plus. Imagine a country not unlike our own. A race of people is horrifically oppressed. An evil president split the country in 2, and a political party is so intolerable that you need a safe space to escape from their insanity. This is the Daily Wire Plus.
The poor Aryan race.
Before we take a look at any content, I think it's worth acknowledging why the Daily Wire Plus exists. It isn't because someone had a passionate idea with no platform to launch it. It's not because the content is too racy for YouTube. In fact, all of the creators post to YouTube. It exists solely because of conservative grievance, as an alternative to woke media, like Netflix, which allows like a gay guy or a black guy sometimes. And you're not really paying for exclusive conservative content as a complement to your other streaming services. It's marketed as an alternative. You're paying to own the libs. Literally, when you sign up, it asks you to upgrade to receive a leftist tears tumbler. The Daily Wire has a history of doing this. When Hershey's made an ad with a trans woman in it, conservatives had a conniption, and Jeremy Boring, former CEO of the Daily Wire, launched her/him's chocolate with or
See, like, nutless and with nuts. Yeah, that's just corny. But as you can see, man, leftist media isn't obsessed with conservatives the way conservatives are obsessed with lefties. Left swinging people live in these people's heads rent free. If we didn't exist, they don't exist. Actually, they would exist because the history of this country. But oh well, who's really feel me?
without.
But yeah, this is so corny. Nutless with the nuts. I bet you this failed. Who bought the
Nuts.
chocolate?
Was the chocolate any good? No, says the idiots who bought it. It didn't taste good, and it was $7 a bar, more than twice the cost of a Hershey's. But as one buyer said, taste was never the point. And he's right. It was about paying a premium to own the libs. And by the way, as bad as it might have been, Hershey's is also dog shit, so don't let your hate for conservative grift culture distract you from that. But as we look at all this content, I want you to imagine that this is the only streaming service that you have access to, and what kind of reality it paints. We can start off by taking a look at their homepage. Well,
they created their own little echo chamber. That's what this is. No new ideas, no any of that, It's an echo chamber. That's what this is.
Actually, we can't. There's a problem. It's kind of hard to find the website in the first place. If you go to dailywireplus.com, it takes you to Google. If you type dailywireplus.com, it takes you to the new member signup, which is, fine and dandy if you're new, but I already signed up and there's no login button. So you have to select a plan and then log in. And sure, you don't have to be a genius to find this, but if you consider their audience of boomers and conservative dullards, they're probably shooting themselves in the foot with their less than intuitive design. I can tell you as a former web developer, 1 or 2 extra clicks can be the difference in millions of dollars in profit. Speaking of shitty web developers, the search feature is not a bar, but a completely different page that points you not just to shows, but also news, because the streaming service is inexorably tied to their news site. And whatever search algorithm they use does not prioritize relevance. If you type in Pendragon to search for their latest show, none of the top results are the latest show. But oh, you say, that's because you're on the news tab. Well, okay, let's switch to shows. Again, none of the top results are their show. Another thing I noticed is that one of the buttons on the bottom of the page just says, do not sell or share my personal information. If you click it, you get the standard cookie disclosure form that automatically pops up on other websites. But on this one, you have to specifically find the button, click it, and then opt out. So, I don't know, someone with a legal background should look into that. By the way, if for some reason you're unsure about the credibility of any news site, because I'm not calling out anyone in particular right now, Ground News is the
I knew that was coming. Man, they got a dookie website interface and design. Let me get through this ad real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Ground News. Ground News. I'm not paying for news.
To step outside their bubble. Links in the description. But enough about features, let's look at the content. You know how Netflix has categories like comedy, action, drama. Well, on the Daily Wire Plus, after the obligatory new and featured, we have shorts, including short videos of my favorite war crimes in Iran, mastering life.
Because you gotta be able to doom scroll, man. Gotta be doom scrolling. If you're not doom scrolling, what the freak is he doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? Even conservatives got a doom scroll. And to me, that seems kind of off-brand. But hey, man, that's our society.
Starring the guy who got addicted to benzos and put himself into a medically induced coma to quit his addiction. Exclusive Daily Wire conversations. Encouraging your faith. Oh, here we go. Actual genres. Action, comedy, documentaries, docu-series, kids stuff, and then PragerU exclusives. Why did I read through all of those? Because that's it. That's all the categories. You're paying $15 a month for that library. But surely they all have lots of content, right? Well, let's look through. So in comedy, we have shitty Matt Walsh documentary.
Their shows are like 5 minutes long.
Another shitty Matt Walsh documentary. That horrible Mr. Bertram show.
Here. I'm a lesbian now.
Well, that explains the Subaru.
A third shitty Matt Walsh documentary, but oh wait, no, that's the one we already saw. Yep, that's right. Each genre has infinite scroll because there's not enough content to scroll for. They just have to loop the same 10 items over and over. And that's just the surface of the complete lack of content, but we'll cover that later. The Daily Wire made a big deal about making an alternative.
It is not making like any content, bro, clearly. But the thing is as well, like, they're not like creative enough to like come up with new content over and over again. It's one, all the creators on here are like it's a handful of people behind these, shows and productions. And they're also not that creative, so you're not gonna get that much content that often, on top of the fact they all make their own like YouTube videos. This jump was just never gonna work.
For children's content. Well, if you click the Kids tab, rather than take you to more kids content, it directs you to an entire new website, which you have to pay more money for. Even the 5 shows included in the kids section all advertise this extra cost service. $15, and I can't even watch Super Tato. Fucking bullshit.
Super
Why
Tato.
did you climb up there?
Oh, Chili! I wanted to slide down, but then I...
Early 2022, the Daily Wire pledged to invest $100 million into kids content over a period of 3 years. Wow.
Changed my mind, and now I'm...
This is where the bread went?
Must hold on.
I do.
This is horrible voice acting too, bro. Oh my
Like
god.
this section of reviews for the extra
This is
service
horrible.
that all come from users labeled parent, implying that there might be one from a non-parent. I have no children of which to speak, but I fucking love those little chinchillas and their ladybug that barks like a dog. Plus, buying this helps me own the libs. Well, we can't watch Super Tato, but let's get our money's worth and watch some exclusive Daily Wire content. Obviously, we have to start with the new show that inspired this video, right?
Right.
No, I was literally too bored to finish it. It's just so
Really?
fucking boring.
How long are the
right?
episodes? Go back.
No, I was
Okay, you got hour-long episodes. It looks like ass though. Looking at the thumbnails, it looks like ass.
literally
Damn, bro.
too bored to
Ew.
finish it. It's just so fucking boring. I literally can't show you clips because any scene where something actually
How do you have a conservative fantasy world? Is that not like counterproductive? Like that doesn't like make any sense, right? It's a fantasy world. None of this is real life. You know, in fantasies, there tends to be like mythical races of people. Like you can't. I don't know. You know, where there's a will, there's a way, I guess. But this is like so crazy. A conservative
happens
fantasy.
takes longer than the content ID will let me show you without editing the fuck out of it. Except for, I don't know, this.
Ooh, what the freak? Is that in the show?
YouTuber Jose and friend of the show was somehow able to watch more than the first episode, so go check out his vid if you want to hear more, and a little bit of background on the Daily Wire financial situation. But my review, it stinks. Sucks.
I'm gonna check that vid out.
Oh man, if you thought Ben Shapiro was edgy before, just wait till Ben After Dark.
Ben After Dark. No one asked for it, and yet here it is.
Watch out, parents. We're hitting you with the jokes no one else will say. We're calling people names like Salami.
Iran's top military brass, including a General Hossein Salami, that's his name, ended up as the deli meat he was named after. He started off the day looking like this, and ended the day looking like this.
Liberals aren't ready to hear this, but they like matcha.
Horrible joke. That joke was buns, dude. Try to ask it again.
Donald Trump's UFC appearance doubled as a bit of a victory lap, coming off a week where he announced some major cabinet appointments that made the left madder than when their local Starbucks runs out of matcha.
Oh, I'm saying it.
Hey, this the same guy that says your wife's vagina shouldn't be moist when it comes down to you know, the horizontal tango. You know what I'm saying? It's strange for your vagina to be moist. That's what this guy said, not me.
Hey, Hunger Games, I'm still full.
Let's see what Ben Shapiro is debunking in this episode of Debunked Atheism.
It's difficult to imagine an argument in which God is utterly unnecessary. All human logic is rooted in certain basic assumptions about the nature of the world. We don't believe that we think 2 + 2 = 4 because it's evolutionarily beneficial. We believe 2 + 2 = 4 always and everywhere because it's true.
Yep, you heard that right. Ben Shapiro tries to prove the existence of God by saying 2 + 2 = 4. Hey, maybe being able to measure and manipulate
That's the
reality.
thing too, like conservative media as well, bro. Like, yeah, you got a whole streaming service around like, you know, creating shows and just like, you know, being creative. You know, they got like a whole like fantasy type of genre, comical like documentaries, and you know, kid shows. You know, those things require you to be like creative. You feel me? And like willing to have fun with like what you're making, bro. These people are too serious. You know, you're trying to make like a kid show or like a fantasy show, and it's all just like serious, heavily like rooted in like IRL politics. Most art, especially like TV shows and whatever media, has politics in it. But like, bro, it's like so serious and in your face. Like, it's not fun, bro. Like, all your characters are like conservative, I don't know, archetypes, you know? Like, I bet you if you were to watch that fantasy show, it'd be like conservative ass like archetypes of characters, you know? And none of the characters have like actual like human ideals that you can actually get behind. It's all because they're too freaking serious, for one. And you're buying into, some BS, some that has been shown to like not work and be very unfavorable to the, majority of the world and America.
Is an objective benefit that lets us live in houses and nuke apex predators. But I'll make it even easier for you, Ben.
Oh, Grug, how many lions there trying to kill us?
There are 2 and 2 lions. That make 4 lions. That too many.
Huh, that too many. We run away. Thank Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, for creating objective addition for us.
He also says that God must be real because we choose things.
We live as though we believe in choice, as though we are capable of making decisions in some way based on our own will. If we're just balls of meat wandering around in space, how exactly do we make choices? God is necessary for these thoughts.
Why have preference if there's no objective grounding? How would such a choice come about? Well, once again, let me make it easy for you, Ben.
Me want touch fire, but when touch fire, hurt. Me no touch fire.
In the episode about sex, Ben complains about the sexual revolution, lack of women in the home, and marriage.
Marriage was seen as old-fashioned and counter to the promise of fulfillment. Overall, women's self-reported happiness scores have declined precipitously between 1970 and 2005. Delaying marriage and child rearing has created an epidemic of unhappiness.
Which is funny.
I doubt it. I don't think that's where that came from. I'm fairly confident where this is concerned. This newfound freedom, along with, the rest of like American society or whatever, not following suit could cause this kind of unhappiness. Like, just like, how's that? I don't know.
Coming from Mr. My wife is an educated doctor who isn't a homemaker. And you'll never guess where he's going with this.
The death of marriage has meant the death of male roles. If men are not protectors and provider, they lose their roles. This means they direct their energies elsewhere. Opioid deaths have surged among single and divorced men.
Yep, that's right, the opioid crisis. Do we blame it on drug addiction, Purdue Pharmacy, the for-profit healthcare system? Nope, it's women. And yeah, no shit, Ben. Most married people aren't lonely and driven to addiction. And most addicts aren't in a spot to get married.
While 61% of the adult population is married, only 28% of opioid deaths occur among married men. Never married and divorced adults represent 30...
Just lying. The conservative staple. Lie.
2% of the population and 71% of opioid deaths.
He's saying this like it's evidence that this sexual revolution caused it. Like, if this stat said literally anything else, would it imply that wives are putting fentanyl into their husband's pie? It's a pretty big stretch for someone that short. Also in this episode, I had to hear Ben Shapiro say the word
clitoris.
And now you do too. Let's look at this Matt Walsh show, Debunking History. And please don't try to copyright strike me this time, Matt. That cost me thousands of dollars and I still won in the end. I could do a whole video on his dumb alternative history, but I think it's worth looking at this intro because it's a perfect dive into the conservative.
I came across a video of this man Matt Walsh trying to argue that like the Emmett Till case was like a myth, some shit that never happened for real, and some crazy junk. And this nigga tried to make an argument as to why he like Emmett Till deserved like to be like lynched and things of that nature, bro. This thing is truly like horrible, bro. Horrible. This nigga's conservative. I know he's Christian. He's evil, but what would Jesus do? He would have turned the other cheek. He wouldn't have did that to Emmett Till, nigga. These are evil people, bro. Evil people.
The Daily Wire Plus embodies.
We've been told that the history of slavery is straightforward. We've been told that black slaves were mostly captured by whites, that white colonists in the Americas routinely enslaved free black men, and we've been told that we're not allowed to question any of that.
No one is saying that you can't question history, Matt. The problem is that your questions and conclusions are dumb and wrong.
Generations of Americans have been force-fed lies designed to beat us into a state of submission and self-loathing. We've been taught to hate ourselves.
And who was teaching white people to hate themselves, nigga? That's my thing. You go look at American television, bro. It's all white people, bro. As black people and brown people, you're forced to like see white people subconsciously and even consciously that these are good people, that these people are capable of great things, both good and evil. Well, you don't see a lot of black people, but you didn't at least see a lot of black people on TV screens, being shown that you're able to do the same thing white people can. But for some reason, they love to tell people that yeah, they tried to get us to hate ourselves. How, man? Wouldn't that be a white on white offense since white people have been in power and have had the power for so long? How's that even possible that white people would make other white people feel bad for being white? That just doesn't make any sense. Black people's not making white people feel bad about themselves. We don't even have the power to do so. So like, I think this is dumb, bro. He's dumb and he's evil. He's a dumb, evil man. Matt Walsh is.
And to hate the figures, mostly white, mostly male, who built America. One Washington Post poll found that a 67% majority
Colonized America. America was already built. Fuck nigga. It already had people living here and doing just fine.
of the public says the legacy of slavery affects American society today.
Like, I don't know what school Matt went to, but nowhere in my curriculum did they teach us that slavery was a uniquely white American thing. Sure, we talked about it more than other examples, but that's because we're in America. Kind of what we focus on in American history. It's ironic because Matt basically wants a trigger warning-esque education that coddles sensitive conservatives and gives them little caveats. And then the white slave traders took the African slaves to America. Oh, and black people and Arab people did slavery too, and you should be proud of white people and don't feel bad, please. Also very ironic.
Yeah, but that argument has always been like dumb and redundant to me. You know what I'm saying? The whole world participated in slavery, fine. But what about after slavery, specifically in America? You know what I'm saying? You black people had to go through slavery and Jim Crow. After you were freed from being a slave, you weren't helped out in trying. You weren't giving any kind of financial help. You're a homeless slave after you're freed, and then you had to deal with being abused for years after you were freed as a slave. These are things that are almost specifically special to white American slavery and white American, mistreatment of, black people in America. Even when you look at like American slavery, it's different than slavery around the world. If you were a slave in America, you more than likely lived and died a slave. It was hard to get freedom. A lot of slaves throughout human history were able to work for their freedom or pay off their freedom at some point. That wasn't a thing with American slaves, on top of the things that they used to, on top of the like abuse that black people had to suffer through while they were a slave. Babies use this gator bait. It's like the biggest one for me. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Insane junk. You feel me? Like, bro, that junk just be blowing me, bro. For trying to be acting like, the whole world participated in slavery, so we needed to forget about it. No. Our slavery was unjustified. A. B. It was extremely inhumane. It's egregious.
That Matt calls other people propagandists.
For more than half a century, anti-American propagandists have waged a demoralization campaign against us.
Like, look around you, man. You might be starting to notice a pattern. A lot of these shows are basically the same thing we get for free on YouTube from Matt or Ben, debunking and owning the libs. The only difference is, other than the hosts talking into the camera, you get some graphics and editing. Some of them are just on YouTube, and sometimes the editing and production aren't even good. Listen to this segment from the State of Chaos, and listen to all the mistakes and dead air that they just leave in this guy's rant.
All these crazy phenomena where it is, whether it is the breakdown of religious thought.
Yeah, you wanna try a second take there, buddy? Even when they are exclusive, there's just a handful of episodes. There's one that's literally called Enough, starring ex-CEO Jeremy Boring, and altogether it's only 46 minutes of content. Not enough for me. Actually, the show.
Facts. Not enough episodes, and this nigga is boring.
Look at. Speaking of people who left the Daily Wire, they left up The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, the Candace Owens documentary about the George Floyd murder. This is despite Ben's huge falling out and firing of Candace from the Daily Wire. Now, it's probably in some contract that they can't remove it, but it's really funny to me that despite her huge anti-Semitic shift, Ben will still put her face on his website because she's shitting on black people in it.
Where have you seen that money impacted throughout the city?
And Candace Owens brings in the attention. She brings in that cheese. Can't take her off. Can't take her down.
All right, this is getting too depressing. Let's look at some kids' content. Now, I distinctly remember this show being called Chilla Time when they announced it. They even shout it in the intro like it's the catchphrase. Chilla Time! But now it's called Chip Chilla, and I have no idea why. Unless, of course, it was a cynical marketing tactic to emulate a much better show with a similar formula. There's nothing much to say about this or any of the other kids' shows. As far as I can tell, they're not insane conservative propaganda. At worst, they're just incredibly dull, even for kids. But they're not the weird indoctrinating crap that you see with the PragerU kid stuff, which is on this website.
Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in
God, got the bluest eyes on this man.
Of the world. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? I don't see the problem.
Actually, no. Many slaves that jumped off the ship thought the opposite, sir. You know what I'm saying? Death is better than bondage, dude. What?
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it okay then.
I did notice two website features that I forgot to mention on the kids' content, such as the audio-only feature. You can just turn the video off and listen to your favorite episodes of Chip Chilla. It's sort of a tacit admission that none of the extra graphics or production really matters, and you can just turn it off and listen like a podcast. Or use it so you can safely listen to Chip Chilla while you're speeding down the highway. Now, YouTube was smart enough to turn off all comments for children's content, but you can comment on Chilla Time.
This is insane. Within the first 2 minutes, the dad chinchilla implies that we have been to the
Yeah, because children are reading comments.
moon and encourages his kids to go there. I will no longer be showing this conspiracy nonsense to my children.
Apologies, I finished the episode, and the dad does fake the moon landing. Resubscribing. Also, maybe I missed it, but I don't see a kids-only mode that blocks things like the Iran war footage, and the family-friendly category includes movies like Am I Racist? With such family-friendly jokes like the one about big black penises.
I have a petition. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument.
Speaking of children, let's look at some of the life advice stuff from old Jordan Peterson. And I'll give him this. He does give semi-good advice on parenting.
Communication is your best defense. Know when to step in and when not to. Peers, not parents, are a teen's biggest influence.
It's not the worst thing you could expect from a conservative parenting show, like telling you to beat your gay child. That said, here's a real thing that definitely happened regarding gay people.
You gotta pray the gay away.
Our daughter, when she was in 5th grade, was bullied by an LGBTQ club, and she was trying to honor her faith by living in the way that God made her. The other students just didn't take that very well, and they said, well, if you don't join in with us, then, you know, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're a bigot, all these things.
Also, if I'm going to take parenting advice from someone, it probably shouldn't be
I feel like that's probably a lie.
From the guy who lets his daughter hang out with Andrew Tate. And to cap it all off, yes, Jordan Peterson can't help but cry.
You're going to be afraid to delve into
hanging out with Andrew Tate. You're letting your daughter hang out with Andrew Tate? the freak we got going on, man? Conservative people don't stand on business at all.
That. And fair enough. It's no wonder you're afraid, but pretending that it's not happening.
Isn't that a crime?
That's a hell of a lot worse.
It's not an alpha.
Miserable.
All right, let's try one of these religious shows.
If one is even moderately open to theism, then
I'm bored. Interestingly enough, they managed to get a History Channel documentary about Abraham Lincoln on here. I watched a bit of it, and it's pretty good. But what's more interesting is the comments.
Slanted history. Irritating that this is on the Daily Wire.
I saw Obama, and I stopped watching.
I wish they talked a little more about why Lee went with the South, because it's important to know why he should continue to be honored, even though he fought against the Union. Oh no. Obama Hussein? Can we edit out that bitch? He tried to destroy America, and if it were not for Trump, the country would already be gone. Seems to have some inaccuracies. Also, don't tend to trust anything that comes out of Obama's mouth.
Yeah, it turns out saying slavery was bad and including Obama pisses off your conservative audience. Also, I thought the comments were persistent for all episodes, but it turns out that this one user just posted the same comment on every episode. Oh, here's a fun one. The Daily Wire explains the world. Let's see what we can learn.
They're
How
just
to win a
so
war in
stupid.
37 hours. Covering the strikes on the Iran nuclear facilities. Oh, yeah, maybe they should take this one down. Let's try out Michael Knowles' bar fight. And hey, I'm even in this one. And before you say, I'd pay money for exclusive soy pill content because I love supporting him so much, especially on his patreon.com link in the description, I don't know why it says member exclusive, because this one is just on YouTube for free. A ton of this member exclusive content is free on YouTube right now,
Yeah, bro.
even Chilla time. Although technically you
They're freaking stupid. There's no point in this freaking subscription,
could
bro.
get it all for free if you look in the right
It's
places.
pointless.
I do want to talk about my experience on Barfight because it gave me some first-hand knowledge on just how decadent the Daily Wire is. They pay to fly you out to their studio that has full-time security. They have multiple high-quality sets designed by their full-time Hollywood set designer, who I met when I was there. So she might literally be designing sets 40 hours a week. And that makes sense because every time they fire someone like Brett Cooper, they have to go in and revamp the whole room for the replacement. Plus, she told me that she does the interior design for all of the hosts' houses. Multiple times, in fact, when they pick up all their crap and move from California to Texas or Tennessee.
But I see through her lies. This elevator on the Michael Knowles show doesn't go anywhere. It's all fake.
They have multiple sound guys, a makeup and hair crew, producers who pretend to be audience members and ask questions.
Do we have another question?
Hi, guys. This isn't a question. This is just a comment. These Somalis, they're coming over and they're committing the fraud. They bring their garbage with them.
A camera crew, and more. Dozens and dozens of employees. So maybe they are struggling financially, but damn if they don't have absurd amounts of money to throw around. Anyway, I covered this episode of Barfight on stream, so go check that out if you want to see
Seems like they loaded up just a little bit.
me call
Got a little
Michael
bit of
Knowles
bread
a
over
bad
there.
actor and gay.
No offense, your acting is really bad. If you were a better actor, you wouldn't be here doing this bar fight show.
We've had gay characters in movies and TV shows for years, decades.
Since at least you were in college.
At least.
Oh, and I also got this clip of prolific transphobe Michael Knowles using the women's restroom.
The problem with transgenderism is that its acceptance at any level necessarily entails the complete destruction of women's bathrooms.
Wow.
So yeah, this is genuinely just a bad deal for the target audience. It's hard to access, a bunch of the kids' content is paywalled, and a good chunk of the exclusive content is not exclusive. It's free on YouTube. But it's like I said, it's not just an alternative that's supposed to replace all your woke services.
What the freak is a bent key?
You're paying the premium to own the libs. It's the shooting the beer you paid for of streaming. By giving them money, you're getting the subpar service, but also helping fund their decadent studio and Hollywood designer homes. If you wanted yet another indication of how insane their marketing strategy is, when you cancel your membership, the button to stop literally says, "Never mind, I want to keep fueling the fight," giving $15 a month to make more Chip Chilla. Oh, wait, no, they laid those guys off. But hey, credit where credit's due. We always say, if you don't like the service, go make your own. And they did. Thanks to the Daily Wire for showing us why you shouldn't do that. Oh boy, it's time for the segment where I shout out a smaller channel. Oops, all ladders. Today's ladder is Franca. I enjoyed his essay on male loneliness and why it's actually your fault, men. You did this. He also recognizes that Andrew Tate's face is basically gold.
Hey, man. Same, man. Super interesting, bro. I think I'll stick to my liberal ram media companies that aren't even, all the way liberal for real. But oh well. Yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed this video, man. I enjoyed making it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.